What I got playing in the background is this here, but more about it later. Hi, it's Richard here at Calvin Wazoo, and I've got some new acquisitions, some old ones, some brand new ones, and so I'm gonna divide them up over a couple of videos. Here's Foghat, Fool for the City, an album I used to have in high school. And also, I remember seeing them play, particularly on this tour at Central Michigan University at the new field house, not the old Finch field house. Good show. Head East was backing them up. I think we paid $6 for a ticket. Classic songs, Fool for the City, Slow Ride. What really kind of blew my mind when I bought this, I completely forgot about the skills of Rod the Bottle Price on slide. Just really good stuff that he does on this record. Another one that I picked up that I had in the past is this one, Charlie Daniels Band, Fire on the Mountain. Loved this album while I was in high school. I used to have it on the Kama Sutra label. Of course, I don't now. Although this is in really fine condition. This is the only album I ever liked by the Charlie Daniels Band, and I saw them at least 2 times, maybe 3 times while I was in high school, but a lot of the material after this didn't appeal to me. But anyway, I'm glad to get these back in my collection. I do enjoy listening to them. Now on to some newer music that I didn't really know anything about, and I'm sure some of you probably do know about these bands. The first one who we're listening to, don't know if you can hear it, but so yeah, Wilderness Road. Name of the band, name of the animal. The album, not the animal. Really interesting. What hooked me on this when I saw this in the record store was that it was saying they're from Chicago. So I thought, hey, cool, I'll check this out. And then I started listening to it, and definitely very cool, folky rock, a little on the psychedelic side. Real nice song structures, and it really kind of clicked with me. And then I started hearing some songs that were very gospel oriented, and I was having trouble figuring out if they were being sincere or ironic. And so I did some checking up on this band. They released 2 albums, I think, and this was the first one. They were formed in 1968 in Chicago, and played a lot of gigs around in Chicago from like the late 60s into the early 70s. But a lot of what they were doing was trying to raise money for the Chicago 7. Now, if you remember the Chicago 7 from the 1968 Democratic National Convention, they were, the people who were arrested. It included Abby Hoffman, Jerry Rubin, David Dellinger, Tom Hayden, Rennie Davis, John Freins, and Lee Weiner. They were charged with federal crimes and conspiracy, including conspiracy to riot. The Democratic Convention in Chicago in 1968 was, there was a lot of anti-war stuff going on at the time, and a lot of brutal police action. Chicago police have a long history of using violence to suppress people voicing grievances. So anyway, That's part of the reason that they were going in and recording the music and playing gigs, is so that they could raise money for the Chicago 7. I found a interview with them in a I'm not sure what the source is, but it's kind of interesting. That's what clued me in, is that they were not being ironic, that their music was satirical, and not just satirical, but satirical in a kind of very biting way, which good satire is. And it was interesting to read about this and then kind of wonder, well, gosh, what happened to these guys? Because they certainly did some incredible music, and I really am enjoying this. This was, one of those times where you see an album in the store and you're like, wow, I wonder what it is, should I buy it? And then you buy it and you get it home, and it's like, wow, this is great. I am so glad I did that. So great I took the chance. Well, another one that I did in the same vein is this one. This was a brand new one. It's a reissue on Sundays. So yeah, the Shadows of Night. Never heard of them. It was in the garage rock area, the store. Backdoor Men. That title just kind of intrigued me. Conjured up, the Doors a little bit. Again, they're from Chicago. So it was like, wow, cool, another Chicago band. And then on the Sundays label, this is beautiful, translucent blue, very pretty blue vinyl. And then the nice blue label for Sundays. A lot of covers, on here, but it's all really good material. And as I was listening to it, I was kind of like, wow, this voice, it just sounds so familiar, okay? So you've got the lead singer, Jim Soanes, I think you're going to pronounce his name, sings most of the songs, and his voice just, and then it finally came to me. Television. He sounds so much like Tom Verlaine of Television. And in the songs, as I say, just really, really solid garage rock, hard, good singing, playing. I was just, really intrigued with this. And apparently their first album is called Gloria, because what they did is they did a cover of Gloria, the Van Morrison tune, and that turned into like a huge hit in the Chicagoland area. When they were in high school, they were still in high school, 16, 17 years old, and they were playing all kinds of gigs. They were very popular for dances and other gigs. And there's another Sundays record out there. I guess I'll have to track down and see if I can get it. It's called Raw and Alive at the Cellar in Chicago from 1966, okay? So, again, just a fun discovery. I'm sure a lot of you out there, who have been collecting for a lot longer than I have, know about these guys more intimately than I do. To me, it's a brand new discovery, but still, it is very cool. They've got a Facebook page. Well, Jim Soanes has the Facebook page. He has apparently kept the brand alive, and they have done gigs more recently, although there's been a very long term when they weren't being active at all. Still, just good stuff. They they do a cover of Hey Joe, which is good, really good. Let me see some other ones. Peepin' and Hidin' by Jimmy Reed. a couple H-Pi instrumentals, Willie Dixon cover of, they cover Spoonful. It's you can see in the back the information on there. This is, cool stuff to find. Hey, leave a comment in the down under of any finds that you stumbled across and were really, really delighted. I have some other records that I bought on that same excursion that were kind of like not knowing anything about them. I'll be doing another video about them just because the music is so different. But yeah, please like and subscribe. And I hope, as I always say, that you are always enjoying your music.